listen, if we don't want the gays going off the roof. Obviously, I don't want to be thrown off a roof, but do we need them with the purple hair and the 15 genders? No, let's stop somewhere in the middle. Maybe we stop somewhere in the middle.
So maybe he's just like an agent of change.
That's what I'm going with. He's perhaps an agent of change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
I don't think listen, there were comics who went to perform in Israel that got stuck there because of the Iran-Israel war, and they had to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't go, how dare you perform there? You know? You went to Israel to perform? Okay.
Well, in Israel right now, where they went to perform, Tel Aviv, there's massive protests on the street about what's happening in Gaza. In Israel.
Yes. That's right.
People
are sick of it. They've had enough of it.
500,000 people in Tel Aviv.
Yes.
On the streets.
Yeah. I mean, they want Netanyahu. I think a lot of people have started to, they're seeing the grift here. Netanyahu is he wants this war to go on for decades.
Well, he's been running that country for how long now?
He's been running it a long time. They haven't had elections in a while. He's got this war, this crisis government or whatever they've compiled. I think it's time to, a lot of people are going, enough is enough.
Well, thank God the Nelk boys got to the bottom of everything.
They got to the bottom of it, and, it was a brilliant, I didn't know how he felt about Burger King. I never knew. And now I do. Well, listen, we have these shows. Everybody has a platform. Everybody wants to be on these shows, and everybody has a line of bullshit. We know it. It's the way it is.
Yes.
It's the way it is. It's unavoidable. You can't avoid it. People get mad. You talk to who? Yeah. It's what it is. You're listening to the thing. Maybe I do a great job. Maybe I do an okay job. Maybe I do a bad job. I don't know. But you're the person listening. You can choose to like it, dislike it. You can say that guy's full of shit. You can say I agree with him there, but I don't agree with him there. You could say I distrust this person. You could say he makes my spidey senses go up. Those are all available. You can have any of those thoughts.
And you could also have the thought that you shouldn't be talking to that person.
You can also have the thought that you shouldn't be talking to that person.
When people have that thought with me,
and that's fair.
Or that I don't push back hard enough, or you're allowed to think all those things. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions on all this shit.
Everyone's allowed.
But, we're living in the wildest fucking time.
This is the wildest time, probably, that I can remember. I'm sure there's other wilder times.
Well, I think this is globally the wildest time ever because there's never been a connection like this with everybody and everything.
A guy who's perpetuating an ethnic cleansing, going on the podcast of prank video influencers to discuss Burger King is one of the craziest things I've seen in my life.
Yeah. It's also, wasn't there like pre-prepared questions that they had to stick to?
Number one, there were pre-prepared questions. Number two, Burger King does suck. Number three,
I liked them when I was a kid.
They fell off. Wendy's fell off. It was all great.
Wendy's fell off since when?
Wendy's has fallen off so hard. In the 90s, it was one of the best restaurants in the country.
But don't they still use fresh, not frozen? Or is that bullshit now?
Everybody's full of shit. I don't know. It's not good. It's not the same.
I always thought they were the best.
They were the best. In the 90s and the early 2000s, they were the best.
When I was coming home from the comedy store, if I was a naughty boy and I wanted to get some food, and I was like, I gotta get something.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
That was the move. If there's a Wendy's and a McDonald's, there's no question. I'm going to Wendy's.
I think when you start with the pre-programmed questions and it becomes, it's not an interview. It becomes, because we all know there's interviews, there's good ones, there's bad ones, there's things you wish you'd asked and go, oh, I should have, blah, blah, blah.
It's a bit of a circus.
It's a circus.
Yeah. By the way.
And it's a staged publicity op.
I would have done pre-programmed questions with Kamala. If they had questions, I don't have a problem with those. As long as you give me the so she's willing to.
I'll send you the questions.
So these are the questions. As long as it's pertinent, like these are the questions.
Yeah. You could have given her 30 pre-programmed questions and 2 months to prepare, and it would have been a mess.
That's my thought.
It would have been a train wreck either way.
It would have been a lot of fun.
This kid from Subway Takes or whatever in New York City, this guy who does these Subway interviews, just said we didn't put out the Kamala Harris one. It was so bad.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Literally just came out and said, we didn't want to tank her chances. It was terrible. she had this weird answer that made no sense, and we didn't put it out.
Who is that guy?
It's some guy. I don't know. Some guy on the seat does a Subway thing. Maybe I'm not saying the right. Maybe it's not Subway takes. I think it is. I think I'm right.
Here it is. Creator of Subway Takes 100% disagrees. The entertainer Kareem Rama discusses Kamala Harris's missed opportunity on his show, meeting Andrew Cuomo, and why disagreement is more fun. What does that mean? TikTok version of The Tonight Show, wholesome, relatable comedy, even if some episodes acknowledge the existence of opioids and dick pics. The premise is exactly what it sounds like. The host, Kareem Rama, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Rama, sits in a New York subway and asks, so what's your take? The guest slings a take. The internet rocks, for example. This is dumb. I can get to the
Well, so the whole thing is she went on the show. He asked her something. She said something wild. Her team and him decided this is not good.
Wasn't it like bacon is a spice? Wasn't that one of them?
She's a psychopath.
Fresh proof that America dodged Kamala bullet besides her kid gloves treatment for... Oh, they released some of it.
Oh.
Okay, let's click on that.
I think it's him talking about it. I don't think they've ever released it.
Well, let me hear that. Let me hear him say that.
It was really confusing. Yeah.
Odd.
Confusing and weird. Do you think she's medicated?
I think she throws him back.
But is it just that?
No,
because
she's got a couple of pills.
There's
Yeah.
an anti-anxiety element.
No, she's got a couple of Xanny bars down the old gullet.
Okay, so it is. She reportedly said she'd talk about how she doesn't like to take her shoes off on airplanes. Okay, but Rama said that she instead pivoted to a really, really bad take that made no sense. Bacon is a spice.
That's one of the more coherent things I've heard her say, by the way.
Okay.
It's actually better than most of her.
Whether that was actually her idea or the advice of overpaid consultants. This is another thing. That campaign was it had the elements, all the elements. If I was an investigator, that campaign had all the elements of money laundering.
Right.
You blew $1.5 billion over the course of a few months, and so much of it went to NGOs.
Of course.
Right? So much of it went to these weird nonprofits that were supposedly going to help your campaign.
Yeah.
And, well, who's at those NGOs? This is like the LA Fire Fund.
That's right.
Right? It's like, okay, you gave the money to 188 different nonprofits.
Right.
That all have overhead. And, like, what about the people that lost the house?
Right.
Isn't there, like, one guy who could just start cutting checks?
Right.
You've got $800 million or whatever you got.
You're paying the salaries of people that work at an organization.
Which is kind of a money laundering operation.
Absolutely.
Especially when you find out that some of these people make upwards of $1 million a year.
Well, what they're going to do with this LA Fires land is still up in the air, but they had proposed zoning the Palisades for low-income housing, and people threw a big fit. And I think that they have backed off on that. I'm unsure, but I think Newsom is backing off on that because he is now positioning himself to be the Democratic presidential nominee. He's always been, but now he's really doing it. And to his credit, he's having success, like in this moment.
Well, you know, some of the success that they're hanging their hat on is his social media campaign where he talks like Trump. So he's got a bunch of people from his organization that tweet for him.
Yes.
And they tweet like Trump, and they're saying this has elevated him in the public's eye.
Yes.
That's fucking terrifying.
It's terrifying. He's starting to learn the internet, sensibility, which is heavily trolling. Does very well. All this stuff. What he has is a terrible record in California, and he's done terrible things to people's real lives.
Yeah.
But he's succeeding on the internet. So
that's enough.
That's enough.
That's the thing.
But that's truly enough. You don't have to be perfect. He's having fun on the internet, and the state is burnt. And people forget, because that was a few months ago. People have short memories. They go, that tweet was fun. He did a post on X that was fun. and it doesn't matter that they let all the criminals out in California and burn everyone's house. You know?
Yeah. It's, that's how bad the Democratic Party is right now.
And he's not even the worst of them. He's bad. But the people go so much further than him. The problem with Gavin Newsom is that he's kind of an empty suit who is in the wind, will go whichever way.
Yeah.
So in a time like 2020, when everybody is incredibly like in the grips of mania, and they're like, rioting's good, rioting's protesting.
Yeah. Defund the police.
Defund the police. Let's get rid of cops. Gavin Newsom puts out a bunch of crazy social media posts about like the importance of resistance and all this crap, and throws his own police force under the bus. It's insane. But then when the pendulum swings back the other way, Gavin Newsom now becomes a sensible conservative that wants to, or a sensible Democrat that wants to reach out to conservatives